When you are actually fueling your body with the proper nutrients, vitamins, minerals, you don't need a lot of food. I'm going to tell you that now. And I used to eat like a monster, let me tell you. Today, this is very, very important and close to my heart. I love speaking about food. As you all know, I am a foodie. Love eating it, love to cook it, okay? Here's the difference. I want to discuss about food, where it comes from, and our perceptions, the term that we use when we speak about food and what that means, how we categorize foods, okay? So, when we speak about food and nutrition, they are two different things, okay? Yet they are also comprised together, okay? And I want us to understand that. Hi, Justin. Good afternoon. I was going to say good morning. So, food is basically any nourishing substance, okay? Apple. This would be called, it's a type of food, right? Of course, it'll be a fruit if we really categorize it, but food, okay? And that basically, it's whether you are eating it or whether you are drinking it. And this will help to sustain life, okay? Provide your energy, of course, and to promote growth. Well, y'all know what happened with me. Woo! All of 411 here. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I have jokes on myself. Sometimes it's really great to laugh at yourself, man. If you can't laugh at yourself, like, what the hell? You know, if you're not really enjoying life, sometimes you gotta just... I'm cracking myself up. Sorry. Okay. So we understand food. Now, when we speak about nutrition, so again, food is any substance or any kind of a drink, all right? That's basically taken into the body. It's going to provide the energy. It's going to sustain life and, again, assisting growth. Woo! So what is nutrition? So nutrition is eating a healthy, balanced diet. Okay, and it provides, or it's basically about providing and obtaining the food necessary for, again, your health and your growth. Now, this is what's important, what I want people to understand, okay? So when we speak about food, I hear this all the time, like, I want to go and eat food. I want to go, because we use the word food and encompass everything, okay? Now, I want to break it down even further. So if we can understand that food is a kind of nourishing substance that we need into our bodies, what has happened now over the years where now this term food is now has been opened and has been, what's the word I'm looking for? Utilized in many different forms. So for instance, fast food, right? Pre-cooked foods, frozen foods, all of these terms that we put before foods that have now actually changed whether it's its texture, its consistency, its nutritional value. Very, very, very important. Its nutritional value, okay? That's something that I want everybody to remember. Okay, so we're going to continue. Just keep that in mind, okay? That's a food for thought, okay, when we speak about that, the difference between the food and nutrition. Because if food is supposed to be a nutritious substance in which we put into our bodies to help build our immune system, all of that, then what the hell is going on, okay? Why are we seeing people getting sicker and sicker? And a lot of it has to do with food. So again, this gets back to the types of food in which we are eating. And again, is it just about food? Because if food is supposed to be this nourishing substance, then where's the nutritional value in it? Okay? So keep that in mind. So what does food do? So as we said, it helps to build immune systems, of course. It provides your nutrients in order to survive. It's part of our survival methods, okay? It gives our bodies, it's like a computer, okay? So like a programming software kind of thing. You can see it like that. So it gives our bodies instructions about how to function, okay? When the nutrient intake now doesn't meet the nutrient needs. So for instance, let's speak English here. So let's say your body needs protein, okay? And you are eating an apple. What happens? When you're basically starving your cells, okay? And when you are starving your cells, it's not getting the proper nutrients that it needs. And so as we call it, your metabolism or the metabolic processes either will slow down or it will completely stop. So that's where your organs are affected, for instance, okay? That's where the nerves, that's where your skin, your whole system, okay, immune system, everything will be affected based on that. So we have to make sure that we are intaking a healthy, nutritious, proper diet daily, okay? Fruits and vegetables, whole grains. I'm just going to say whole food nutrition, period. None of this, the preservatives and the additives. And don't get me wrong here, okay? I am not saying that you cannot indulge here and there. I am not saying that, dude, I'm an advocate for that, okay? If you want something, I say go and fulfill that. Fulfill whatever it is that your body's telling you. However, know your limit. Know that there is a balance. You need to have balance, homeostasis in the body. That's very, very important, okay? So now what does nutrition do in the body? So we know that food, it helps to keep you alive. Okay, it keeps you going. And I'm not talking about the types of foods right now, okay? I'm just speaking about food in general. Whether you want to talk about the frozen foods, whether you want to talk about fast foods, doesn't matter. It will keep you alive. Let's say that for now, okay? The lack of words. I'm going to use that very loosely, okay? So what does it mean now when we speak about nutrition? What does it do? What does nutrition do? Nutrition is broken down into two components, okay? Very, very simple, very easy. You have your macro and you have your micro. Macro, very simple. You have your proteins, you have your carbs, you have your fats, okay? Simple. Macro meaning big. Micro meaning small. We have now our vitamins and minerals. So, for instance, within, let's say, this apple, which is also known as a simple carb, okay? You have particular vitamins and minerals in here. Your vitamin C, your vitamins B's, like B12, riboflavin, all that stuff, okay? So those are all the macro stuff that basically assist in making up this particular substance, okay? Does everybody follow me? I know. I don't want to get too wordy with this. My objective here is for people to understand that when we speak about food, because this term food has been used so loosely nowadays that for me, it's all about feeding the body with nutrients, okay? Because here's a perfect example. So for those of you who like to eat out, I enjoyed it at one point, eating out a lot at like particular restaurants and stuff, okay? Now, if you turn around and you eat out, right? Let's say you have your steak, you have this, you have that, whatever it may be. How is it that you feel afterwards? I know for myself, there was a lot of times where I was feeling lethargic. I felt like a stuffed rat almost, okay? Because at that time, I didn't care about food combining and all that stuff. I didn't care about necessarily the nutrient value and all that stuff. Who got time for that? I'm there to eat. You know what I mean? You're at a restaurant. Let's just eat. Let's be real. But now I've noticed that there is a huge shift when it comes to understanding where our foods are coming from. What is it that we are eating, right? Is it locally grown? Is it grown, let's say in the States? Is it grown in like Guatemala? Don't know why I said Guatemala, but, these are things now that I find that there's a shift in a better understanding as to where our foods are coming from, how we are ingesting and absorbing our proper vitamins and nutrients and all of that good stuff, okay, that we need in our body. Remember something, foods can heal as much as they can harm. And that's why I say, I'm not saying, particularly, frozen foods are bad for you. I'm not saying, eating out is bad for you. Don't get it twisted. That is not what I'm saying at all. Because there are times that, yes, I myself will go and I will indulge. I will go to restaurants. I'm very particular as to where I go. I'll tell you that much. But I do enjoy going out. So with that being said, what I'm saying is to be mindful, to bring more awareness into what is it that we are actually putting into our bodies. Because if you are expecting a food to make you, let's say, feel better or to assist your body or your immune system nutritionally, we may want to really think about what is it that we are eating? How is it that we are eating? Our proper food combining. All of these things play a huge role. How do you feel after eating a particular meal? I always speak about that in a lot of my videos that I've been shooting. It's all about how is it that I feel? What is it that you look like? Remember, your skin as well, everything are great indicators, okay? Your tongue, especially with the yeast and all that, great indicators. Your eyes are great indicators. What is happening? Are you seeing yellowing? All these things. We know that there's liver congestion. Why? What is it that you may be eating that is not agreeing with your body, okay? So I want everybody to kind of, keep in mind and take with you the understanding that it is nutrition that you need, because when you are actually fueling your body with the proper nutrients, vitamins, minerals, you don't need a lot of food. I'm going to tell you that now. And I used to eat like a monster, let me tell you. I probably still do, but you really don't need a lot of food in every sitting, okay? So keep your food intake up to 3 square meals a day. You're snacking in between. Especially, listen, if you are a person on the go, for all my work professionals and business professionals, guys, like something so simple as, let's say first thing in the morning having a breakfast, right? If you use a smoothie, a protein shake, good protein, by the way, make sure it's very, very clean, okay? Add in some, whether it's a nut butter or something like that, add in something with a protein in there. And you guys are good to go, man. You have meals on the go, right? So it's just all about convenience when it comes to people and food. And a lot of people, it's either they don't want to cook, they don't know how to cook, or they don't have time to cook, okay? And that's where you do have various services to assist you, including my own, okay? Our food here, I'm not sure where food is, where it actually like comes from in the States, because the States is just huge. So I know we have here in Toronto something called a food terminal, and that's where a lot of our foods are actually shipped into. They're brought in, whether it's locally, whether it's from away, all of that stuff. And then that's where, the farmers, the restaurant owners, all of that stuff, we go down there and we basically do our shop, okay? And then, of course, when we're speaking about cities, so urban and rural, for instance, we have like our local, whether you have your local markets, like supermarkets, which are, of course, the big guys. And then you have, of course, your farmers markets, which I love. So I'm all about shopping locally. And the reason why, I'm like, yo, dude, let's support our small farmers. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you're in the States, if you're here in Toronto, it's all about shopping locally, okay? That's for me anyways. Support your farmers. Let's keep the economy going, okay? Let's bring everything back into our economy. Let's help ourselves first and foremost, right? Before helping anybody else. This also brings up, food quality and the freshness of foods. I find that when I do go, to the supermarket, to my farmers markets, when I actually go out to my actual farmers and get it directly from them, I find that the foods, they are a lot fresher. The quality is a lot better, and the prices are amazing compared to, let's say, if I was to go in a supermarket, right, which I still do. I use both, right, depending, because again, we are dealing with seasonal shopping as well, right? I am a seasonal buyer, because that to me is important as well. With the season change, you should also change your diet, okay? Very, very important. What you're eating in the summer, can't necessarily eat in the fall or the winter. You'll probably freeze to death, okay? So when it comes to that, yeah, I just find for me, like the taste and the freshness, it's absolutely amazing. You kind of know where things are grown. You're getting it from your farmer, And then of course another story is if it's GMO'd or not, right? So genetically modified or anything like that. If they are putting in other crap in it or anything like that in order for it to grow. So I mean, there's so much when it does come to food, and I don't want anybody to be overwhelmed. But the one thing that is important to understand is that you are what you ingest, you are what you absorb, okay? If you are going to eat crap, you are going to feel and look like crap. I say this all the time. If you are going to eat well, fresh foods, all of these things, right? High quality foods and stuff like that. Think about what it's doing to your body as well. Think about what it's doing to your skin, to your face, right? And you can see this in people as well. You can feel their energy. That's the other thing, right? food and energy. I'm huge when it comes to that. I'm very intuitive. So when it comes to energies for me, it's kind of like you see it. You see it in kids as well. Look at it in our school systems as well. I don't care where you are in North America, all across the board, in the States and here in Canada. I used to assist children, okay? And I remember at one point, they had a food program. And something that really touched my heart, and it was like, I asked them like, oh, where are they getting their food from? And there was different, let's say food banks or whatever it may have been. And of course, I was in a more of a lower income area. And a lot of the foods, they weren't as fresh. You know what I mean? They were cooked, yeah, but it was like, it looked like somebody already ate it kind of thing. And that's the other thing, I look at is in terms of where you are situated within your cities as well will also play a huge role on the types of foods that are available to you and the prices and at what cost, right? So again, when you are looking at kind of more lower income areas and things like that, your foods are going to tell a different story as well. You know what I mean? Because they need to cater to that particular area, the affluent areas. They need to cater to, people, let's say, who have higher incomes in a particular area. So there will be certain supermarkets that will be there and certain supermarkets that aren't. So that's something to keep in mind as well, right? And that's why I'm just like, I'm all about the small farmers, man, because I'm like, cut all that crap. Let's just go, straight back to kind of the seed where it first started, right? Seed, and then it blossomed into whatever it may be. So I think it's important that everybody understands food and the role that it plays, especially in our health, because today we see a huge influx in obesity, diabetes, the high cholesterol and all that stuff. And yes, I mean, it's been there, but now it's just like on a rise. And so now there's been a huge movement into let's intake more nutritious foods, right? Nutrient dense foods. That's what's important. More whole foods, okay? Whole food nutrition. That is what is important. So when it comes to processed foods or foods with, let's say, preservatives or additives or colors, those are things that you may want to be mindful of. This is a rule of thumb, okay? Let's make this very, very simple. If you go into a grocery store and you look at the periphery, right? So that you're on the outside. Actually, we're going to shop in a grocery store. That's what we're going to do one day. If you look at the outside, right? That's usually the rule of thumb of how you shop, on the outsides, okay? Because you have your fruits or vegetables, your meats, your cheeses, like your dairy along the frozen aisles, usually in the back and stuff like that. And then it just kind of comes around, right? And guess what? Everything in between, what is it? Everything in between is either packaged, boxed, or canned, right? Think about that when you go into your grocery store next, okay? So that's where I always say, and there's nothing wrong with that. As I said, it's all dependent on what is it that you are using, the types of ingredients. If you turn around and you read your label and you're seeing like hydro something, 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 artificial colorings 1, 2, and 5, and 8, and 10, like, dude, why would you even want to put that in your body? You know what I mean? I think we need to become more aware. Sorry, am I back? Am I back? I froze a little. Yeah, I had a weak connection. I'm sorry. I think we need to become more aware in terms of reading our food, our labels on foods, ingredients. If you can't pronounce it, and if it's like a whole list of ingredients, why are you intaking that? Why are you putting it into your body? Because all you're doing is you're adding in excess salt, sugars, fats into the body, okay? Also, actually, there is it's a book as well as, I'm not sure if it's a movie. It's probably a movie. But I remember when I was going through school, there's an awesome book which I would recommend everybody to read. It's called Salt, Sugar, Fat. It's friggin' amazing. If you want to, you can. If not, it doesn't matter. But, I mean, it's basically summing up everything that I'm saying, right? And what's happening in today's society in 2016, right? Where we have a great movement into now more organic foods, holistic, whole food nutrition, which I'm like, yes! which is absolutely awesome. Because it's these things that are going to help us to heal our bodies. Yay. Right? But you still do have, of course, the fast food chains. You have the preservatives, you have the additives. And, I remember I was speaking to one of my clients, and, she said to me, Keisha, why do those even exist? It's so gross, fast food, and who eats this? And I was like, well, you know what? At one point in time, I did. My mother didn't know it because I did it behind her back. But I did, and I ate a lot of it. Because why? I was a starving student. You know what I mean? It was that simple. It was quick. It was easy. It was convenient. And that's what it was. You know what I mean? And it was cost effective. Not realizing, and this is where my healing journey began, realizing and recognizing that, guess what? Years down the road, I realized that by putting these things into my body, I was actually unable to retain that amount of information from just learning, from my education. So it actually took a toll on me. And not only that, my immune system was shot. My digestive system was shot, and I got sick. I got really sick. So, I always say this. You either put in your time now or you put in your time later, okay? Which the later won't be good when a doctor's cutting you open. So with that being said, when people say, it's expensive. Healthy food is expensive. Organic food is expensive. It's really not, actually. A doctor's bill is expensive. And if you understand something, whole foods, okay? Crap, easy, convenient. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's all about the easiness. It's all about convenience. But I'm saying if we can change that mindset, that perspective, and think about the convenience of whole foods, it'll be so much easier, right? We can do so much more when it comes to, let's say, going in a grocery store, paying $20 for whole food nutrition, and we can have food for, let's say, a week or even a couple days or whatever the case may be, versus just eating that burger and that's it. And then you're going to be hungry, let's say 30 minutes later, because there is no nutritional value. All it is salt, sugar, fat, right? So until we can understand that, until the education is there, and this is exactly why I'm doing this, it's all about the education, man, okay? And I'm doing it because I had to learn the hard way, and I really don't want anybody else to learn the hard way when it comes to educating yourself on foods, on what it is that you are putting in your body, okay, and how it's affecting you, your mind, your body, and soul. Because if you think for 1 second that the food that you are intaking is not affecting you, think again. It definitely is, especially the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you look. And if you don't like the way that you look, if you don't like the way that you feel, if you don't like the way that you think, then change it. It's not an easy process, but it's worth it in the end, okay? And you know what? It becomes really and truly, honestly, it becomes easier. Once you start by your first, I'm going to say by my second week, it was like, okay, I got this down packed. For myself, I actually started with just a meal plan for myself. I created a meal plan, and from there, I was literally kind of taking, using the same meal plan for the first week into the second week into the third until I kind of got bored, and then I was like, okay, I kind of think I get a hang of this, So start small. I'm not going to necessarily say salads all the time because salads don't work for everybody. Again, and especially for seasonal eating, right? You want raw. I'm a huge advocate of raw. However, you also have to understand your metabolism, right? You also have to understand what resonates with your body, okay? Is it more, let's say, maybe cooked meals versus raw meals? And when I say cooked, lightly steamed, right? Or sauteed vegetables versus, let's say, raw, like a raw salad or raw veggies, right? That may not agree with your body. So, so when it comes to our foods, so how is it that we are defining and categorizing or redefining our foods today? Excuse me. So as I've defined something, right, I said that food means it's any nourishing substance, right? Hi, hun. So if we are not intaking a nourishing substance, why are we calling it food? That is my biggest question, okay? Why are we calling something food if it is not a nourishing substance? I don't think that it should have that term food on it. That's just me. A lot of people say, okay, whatever. But these are just things to think about, right? And that's all it is. It's just about a thought process. It's just about the way in which we have been brainwashed into thinking and to understanding for many, many, many years, including myself, like I said, until, of course, there's those eureka moments when some things have to give, some things have to change. Why? Because it's no longer working. Why? Because I am depressed. Why? Because my face looks like crap. Why? Because I'm overweight and I can't do anything about it. Why? Because I don't feel good. That's why. So I think rather than, looking at food as just a fuel substance for our body, I think it's important that every time that we are putting something in our mouth, that we understand the nutritional value or the nutrient value in it, right? And again, like I said, I'm a huge advocate of, go and indulge, man. I'm all about that. But know your limits. Have the tools in order to assist yourself and assist your body into, let's say, building the immune system or into health, overall health and wellness. That's really what it is, because that's what we need today. As, my motto, my slogan, I say, health is wealth, man. And that's exactly what it is, okay? So, again, we have been speaking, I should say, with Keisha Luke. That's me, your holistic chef, culinary nutritionist. I hope that this was informative for you as it was for me. I have so much more information and videos or whatever if you want to take a look at them. What's the other one? A documentary called Food Inc. Oh, if you're eating, don't watch it. Okay, I have to tell you that. Food Inc. is an amazing documentary as well. And I know these are a little bit older, like around, I think, don't quote me, maybe 2011 or so, or maybe even before that or a little bit after that. They are amazing videos just to give you a little bit more of an understanding as to our foods and food process. And that was actually part of the beginning of my journey as well, looking at things like this as to the perspectives of food today. How is food being defined? And how am I able to turn around and redefine foods within my own services, okay? And that is exactly what I choose to do, which is redefine foods using whole food nutrition to heal. Why? Because I've done it on my own body. I've experienced it, so I know what it feels like. I've been there, okay? So with that being said, I want everybody to have an awesome and thoughtful Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday already, and October is on Saturday. That is crazy. So until then, love, and blessings. Love yourself in order to assist in loving others. Keep helping and healing humanity, alrighty? And go and do something nice for yourself. Today is a thoughtful Thursday. So whether it's for yourself, whether it's for someone else, giving great advice, sending love to somebody, whatever it may look like, you know what I mean? Having, dessert, having dinner, or whatever it may be. Do something very, very nice for yourself today. It's thoughtful. It's Thoughtful Thursday. And also, assist somebody else in whatever way possible that you can. So until next week on Tuesday, okay, where we will be in the kitchen again. So we'll be doing the cooking demos. I can't wait. I'm super excited. And also actually tonight, where I'm doing my push-ups, and I think I'm on my day 10 of my cleanse, and let me tell you, wow, I'm feeling amazing. And a lot of things, it's funny, even on my own body, and I speak about this again, coming back to whole food nutrition, I've been intaking a lot more of food consecutively, but of course in, proper portions and stuff, but I've been eating like a beast a lot more. So that's the other thing you're going to find when you are eating the proper nutrients and minerals and all that. It's going to sustain you for that period of time. And then, it's time to refuel. That's the term. It's time to refuel the body again, okay? Like a car, right? Tune it up again. So until tonight, you guys can join me on my personal page. We're going to go into the push-ups and all that. But until next week, Tuesday at 12 o'clock when we are in the kitchen cooking. Love y'all. Keep the colon rolling. Enjoy. Happy Thoughtful Thursday. Peace out.